So when we pass the normal light through the polarizer, that is prism, then the light will become plane polarized light. The waves will be in one direction. In plane polarized light, all the waves will come into the one direction. And when we pass this plane polarized light through achiral compound, achiral means that is the symmetrical compound which is not having any chirality, that we will discuss later on about the chirality. Chirality is nothing but the carbon which is having 4 different groups, that is known as the chiral carbon. And if it is not having 4 different groups, if it is having the similar groups around the carbon, then that is the achiral compound. When we pass the plane polarized light through the achiral compound, then the plane polarized light will not change its direction, it will remain the same. This is initial light and this is after forwarding the light through the achiral compound. Achiral compound cannot rotate or cannot move the plane polarized light, so the direction of the light is not going to change. And when we pass the same plane polarized light through a chiral compound, the carbon which is having 4 different groups. So if we pass the plane polarized light through a chiral compound, then what will happen is, here you can observe the plane polarized light is going to change its direction. So this is known as the optical isomerism, optical rotation. Optical rotation is nothing but the rotation of the plane polarized light when it is passed through a chiral compound. So that is possible. And both the enantiomers, they will be having difference in the rotating plane polarized light. If one enantiomer will rotate the plane polarized light towards the clockwise, the another enantiomer will rotate the plane polarized light towards the anti-clockwise direction. So the enantiomers will be having difference in rotating the plane polarized light. This is about the optical isomerism. Now we will go back to the properties of our enantiomers. Enantiomers will have the same melting point, density, stability, color, reactivity towards acids and bases, because they are differing only in the rotating the plane polarized light. Okay, the mixture of the enantiomers which is having the equal composition, that is 1:1 ratio of the enantiomers, is known as the racemic mixture. And when we pass the plane polarized light toward the racemic mixture, one will rotate the clockwise and the other enantiomer will rotate anti-clockwise. So that mixture will become optically inactive. The two isomers of enantiomers can be separated by mechanical, biochemical method and also complex formation. They can be separated by using the different techniques. The only thing you have to remember for the enantiomers, important point is, enantiomers are non-superimposable mirror images, and they will be having the same molecular formula, same connectivity between the atoms, only they will differ in rotating the plane polarized light. One enantiomer will rotate the plane polarized light toward the clockwise direction, whereas the other one will rotate the anti-clockwise rotation. The enantiomer which is rotating the plane polarized light towards the clockwise direction, that is known as the dextrorotatory, and which will be as designated with the plus symbol, whereas which is rotating anti-clockwise direction towards the left, that is known as the levorotatory. So this is about the enantiomerism and optical activity. Now coming to the geometrical isomerism. So geometrical isomers are raised due to the restricted rotation of the carbon-carbon double bond or carbon-nitrogen double bond or nitrogen-nitrogen double bond. Because of the restricted rotation, the isomers cannot be interconverted. Now coming to the geometrical isomers, these are the stereoisomers, and which are having a restricted rotation, as well as they are not mirror images. They are not the mirror images. So these are generally known as the cis-trans isomers, and they will be different in the physical, chemical and spectral biological properties. Compared to the enantiomers, diastereomers can be easily separated from each other. Now here if you observe 1,2-dichloroethene, these two are the diastereomers are geometrical isomers of 1,2-dichloroethane. If the same groups are arranged on the same side of the double bond, then that is known as the cis isomer. Here if you observe, chlorine and hydrogen are placed on the same side of the double bond. So this is known as a cis. And if the similar groups are arranged on the opposite side of the carbon-carbon double bond, then that is known as the trans isomers. So geometrical isomerism is also known as the cis-trans isomerism. Geometrical isomers are the stereoisomers which are non-superimposable, non-mirror images, and they will be formed due to the restricted rotation across the double bond, and they are also known as the cis-trans isomers. If you observe here, cis-2-butene and trans-2-butene, if methyl groups are present on the same side of the double bond, that is known as the cis-2-butene, and if they are present on the opposite side, that is known as the trans-2-butene. Now coming to the characteristics of the diastereomers, two diastereomers have different properties. All the properties are different for the diastereomers. That is why the reason they can be easily separated by using the fractional distillation and the chromatographic technique. Compared to enantiomers, diastereomers can be easily separated. So optical isomerism already we have discussed. So this is plus lactic acid and this is minus lactic acid. Plus is nothing but this isomer can rotate the plane polarized light toward the clockwise direction, and this can rotate the plane polarized light towards the anti-clockwise direction. Substances that will turn the plane polarized light towards the right or clockwise direction, they are known as the dextroisomers, and which can turn the light towards the left, they are known as the levoisomers. Optical activity, already we have discussed about this. Dextrorotatory will be represented with either D or plus, and the levorotatory enantiomer that can be represented with I or negative symbol. Now coming to the chiral. Here if you observe this carbon, it is having 3 hydrogens and 1 methyl group. So this is not chiral, means it is not attached to 4 different groups, hence it is not chiral. Whereas this carbon, it is attached to 4 different groups. So the carbon which is attached to 4 different groups, that is known as the chiral carbon or asymmetric carbon. If you observe, both of our hands or two hands are enantiomers to each other because they are not superimposable on each other. If you place one hand on the other hand like this, if you place one hand on the another hand, they are not superimposable on each other. They are mirror images to each other. Whereas that means this is the chiral object. Our hand is chiral object, and that is nothing but it is having the center of symmetry. Center of symmetry means that one axis will make the or divides the molecule into two halves, two equal halves, objects into two equal halves. So that is achirality. And if an object divides into two equal halves which are not same, non-symmetrical, then that is known as the chirality. So this bottle, if you observe, that is not having the chirality. This is achiral because here this is, if we bifurcate this bottle into two pieces, that will form two equal halves. So it is the achiral object, means it is having the center of symmetry. So types of optical activity already discussed. Dextrorotatory, which can rotate the plane polarizer light towards the right, and levorotatory, which can rotate the plane polarizer light towards the left. Organic compounds will be two different types: optically inactive, that is achiral compound, and optically active chiral compound. Optically inactive means The compounds which cannot rotate the plane polarized light. If the compounds are able to rotate the plane polarized light, they are known as the optically active compound. So optical activity of a compound will be based on whether it can rotate the plane polarized light or not. Plane of symmetry. There are some of the symmetry elements. One is the plane of symmetry, center of symmetry, and alternative axis of symmetry. So these are all the definitions. Plane of symmetry, a plane which bisects the molecule into two equal halves. For example, here you can see this plane, this dotted line cannot bifurcate into two equal halves. So this is chiral, and if it is able to bifurcate or divide the molecule or object into two equal halves, then that object is achiral. If it is able, that axis is able to bifurcate or divide the object into two equal halves, achiral. Two unequal halves, then that is the chirality. There are some of the letters. This is chiral, and this is chiral, and F is also chiral, because we cannot be able to bifurcate into two equal halves, divide this letter into two equal halves. Whereas achiral letters are A, because here we can able to divide or bifurcate A into two equal halves. So this is achiral object. M is also same, because if we place the mirror, this A and this A will look like the same. So this is the achiral object. Here you can clearly observe this molecule. Both of them are the mirror images. And if, for example, if this isomer can rotate the plane polarized light towards the right, obviously this will rotate the plane polarized light towards the left, because they are optically active molecule and they are the enantiomers. Coming to the RS nomenclature, and generally RS nomenclature is used. RS nomenclature is helpful to assign. RS nomenclature is helpful to assign the for example, here, if we are having the similar groups when we are giving name to the diastereomers, if we are having the similar groups, then we can call it as cis or trans. If we are having the four different groups on the carbon atom, then while naming to that carbon atom, we have to go for either RS nomenclature or EZ also is there, and that is EZ is for the compounds which are having the double bonds, whereas RS which are the saturated also. We are going to give the nomenclature for the chiral carbons. So for this carbon, for example, here this carbon, the center carbon is having four different groups. Now when we are giving name to the nomenclature, we are going to assign RS nomenclature, that is R means that will, for example, here I will tell you. So for this, for giving nomenclature to these molecules, we are having some rules which are known as the Kahn-Ingold principles, Kahn-Ingold rules. According to these rules, when we are giving priority to the groups which are attached to the carbon, so highest atomic number containing group must be given priority. Among all these four groups, so first attached is the O here. For the OH group, this will be given priority because oxygen is having the high atomic number. So when we are giving priority to the groups which are attached to the chiral carbon, we have to give highest priority to the high atomic number containing group. So here oxygen, so this will be given highest priority. So according to the Khan-Ingold principle, first priority group, highest priority group, where the fourth priority group is the least priority group. So to assign RS nomenclature, orientation of the molecule to be in such a way that fourth priority group is away from us, means that should be on the that should be on the vertical line. For example, hydrogen is here on the horizontal line. So we have to convert this structure with the interchange of the groups like this, so that the lowest priority group must come to the down. And for giving the priority to the groups, we have to consider, or we have to give priority to the atom which is having